Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And as you see behind me, I'm back at my Stephen King shelf. So that means I finally finished that. so, yeah, I finally conquered 4 past midnight on a Thursday night. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So, this was released in 1990, and this collects 4 stories. The first one is The Langoliers. The second one is Secret Window, Secret Garden, followed by The Library Policeman, and then The Sundog. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a synopsis on each story, and then I'll rank each story by enjoyment. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first story, 1 past midnight, is The Langoliers. So The Langoliers is the longest story in this collection. And this is about like a group of passengers on a plane who go through like a time warp, and some of the passengers actually disappear, and it's got like elements of cosmic horror, and the big bads are the Langoliers, and they're kind of like time eaters. So this whole crew has to fight to survive before getting eaten by time. This story was actually very, very good, but it's definitely weird, and it doesn't feel too long, but it is like a 400-page novella, and it really does feel like it at times, because there are like a few moments where it is kind of slow, but all the characters in here are very well fleshed out. Of course, Stephen King does a very good uh, job with character development, especially in novellas, even more so in his novels. But what I remember on how this ended, they actually avoid the Langoliers, and it's kind of open ended. And it's been at least 2 months since I actually finished the Langoliers. I mean, March was my comeback for this book, but that book took me a long time to get through. But yeah, for the main story opening, I actually found it to be very, very enjoyable. So that was The Langoliers. 2 past midnight is Secret Window, Secret Garden. And this is probably like the most recognizable story because a movie came out in 2004 called Secret Window, and it stars Johnny Depp, John Turturro, and Maria Bello, among other people. And this is more like a psychological thriller than anything. And it's about this writer named Mort Rainey who gets stalked by this mysterious guy called John Shooter. And he claims that Mort Rainey stole his story. So this was a very, very taut thriller, and it definitely kept me on the edge of my seat reading the whole thing. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best novellas that I've read so far in Stephen King. But yeah, this is one of those that just messes with your mind, and you're determining what's real and what's not. But of course, the twist is that Morton Rainey is John Shooter. So there was literally nothing going on with Morton Rainey because he has like a split personality. And it's a really, really messed up ending to this novella. But in my opinion, I think I prefer the movie ending a little bit better. I mean, there are similarities to the novella ending, but the movie ending makes a little bit more sense. Because, I mean, it just ends where he kills his ex wife and her new boyfriend, and he just digs her in her garden, and he just like eats on an ear of corn while looking out the window. It's a really, really tense ending to an otherwise tense film. So yeah, I definitely do enjoy the novella and the movie equally. So that was Secret Window, Secret Garden. 3 past midnight is the library policeman. And this story actually surprised me quite a bit. It's basically about this man in Iowa who is being pursued by mysterious creatures from a library. And turns out this librarian was kind of like some kind of creature or something. And her uh, her adversaries, who are called the library policemen, try to get back to this guy and have him return those books before he is ultimately killed off. This definitely had a little bit of Twilight Zone and Outer Limits flavors to it. And it turns out this chick was possibly a deity similar to Pennywise, because she like turns into like this mysterious monster, and she wants to kill all the children that reside in her library. So throughout this story, the main character uh, is still confused if he's actually in reality or fiction, because every time he goes to this library, it's kind of a modern day library, despite it being like 70, 50 years ago. And I actually really did enjoy this one quite a bit. But yeah. So that was the library policeman. 4 past midnight is going to be the Sundog. And this is the final story. And it is about this young 12-year-old who gets this mysterious camera for his birthday. And he finds some mysterious dog creature in some of his pictures. And he's not sure if it's like an omen of death or if it is a glitch. So he goes to an antique store to find out what the significance of this camera is. And it turns out This dog predicts death. To me, I really can't talk much about this story. I mean, it kind of let me down a little bit because I was expecting a little bit more out of it. Still is like a 200-page novella, but I just wanted more. And the way this one ends is that he gets a word processor, and the spirit of the sun dog finds him. So it's another open ended story. So yeah, I just ultimately thought that the Sundog was just okay. So overall, I rated this book 4 stars. There are some very solid novellas in here, but now I'm going to go ahead and rank all four uh, by my enjoyment. So at number 4 is going to be The Sundog. Number 3, oh wait, because The Sundog I would have probably given 3 stars on its own. At number 3 is going to be The Library Policeman. I would have rated that 3.5 stars. At number 2 is The Langoliers. Really solid story, and I rated it 4 stars. And my favorite story in here is Secret Window, Secret Garden, and I rated that 5 stars. So, if you haven't read this collection yet, I highly recommend it. There is a lot of sci-fi and horror in here for everyone, but it is a very, very long book. Just take your time with it. Or they actually have some of these novellas by themselves. But you're not going to get Secret Window, Secret Garden, or The Library Policeman by themselves. Unless if they decide to publish them. But yeah. So those are my thoughts on 4 Past Midnight. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably more than likely be my Super Mario Brothers movie review. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. Peace.